Welcome and namaste, everyone. I feel it's important to acknowledge that I personally did not grow up saying namaste to anyone, but I have learned about it through yoga studies. And I'm still saying it because I like the habit of it, the ritual of it. It makes me feel like I'm doing something different because I didn't grow up saying namaste. To me, it marks something different from the way I usually spend my time. And I also like the meaning of it, the idea that I bow to you. And I like the idea of the meaning of it, just taking a moment to acknowledge other people that are here. And then I also like the fact that in India, it's not a formal way to start some, big religious ceremony. It's just kind of like saying, hey, how's it going? Like, I see you. So for all of those reasons, I really, I'm sticking with it. I'm sticking with namaste. So welcome. I bow to each of you. I'm really happy to be here. And we'll be doing some seated meditation tonight with a variety of different things in mind. Last week, I read a poem and we got kind of really into the meaning of the poem and deconstructing the poem, as one of our participants called it afterward. And I thought today we would almost take a completely different approach and work, instead of with the intellect and the mind, keep it really close, keep it in the body. And by doing that, maybe let go of some of the thinking and let go of some of the need to mine and search around for meaning quite as much. So we'll see how that goes. That said, I do have some readings and some things I can share. But first, let's begin by establishing a seat that feels comfortable enough that we could stay here for a few minutes. So if you've already been listening to me walk through these welcoming moments and you're feeling like you'd like to shift around, find a seat to which you could commit for the next little bit of time. And if that means props, I'd like you to have props. If it means lying down at some point, I'd like you to lie down. All of that said, we will initially commit to this idea of being upright, of sitting tall with a sense of dignity, maybe the upper part of the body reaching upward into space, toward the sky, toward the light. And the lower half of the body rooted down into the earth, deep and wide, and the lower half of the body light and buoyant in the upper half of the body. And then circulating throughout both of those sensations, your own personal in and out breath. Breathe in, breathe out. These first few moments of silence can be very disconcerting. Notice what that feels like. That moment of noticing how quiet it can be. Poet Dana Falls describes a walking slowly, a slow walking. She says, it only takes a reminder to breathe, a moment to be still. And just like that, something in me settles, softens, and makes space for imperfection. Let something in you settle and soften. A simple reminder to breathe. And as we drop into the space of silence, we actually have given ourselves an opportunity to experience, to notice imperfection. So in addition to feeling heavy in the lower part of the body, relaxed and porous in the upper part of the body, in addition to feeling the movement that we call breathing, notice what the silence brings. What is here right now? Perhaps there are sounds. There could even be smells. Or tastes. All of these sensory things become perhaps more apparent during this quiet stillness. The practice of mindful meditation allows us to go even further. What do you notice about the thoughts and the thinking and the activity of the mind itself? Does it feel busy in there? Dana Falt's poem continues. It only takes a reminder to breathe, a moment to be still. And just like that, something in me settles, softens, makes space for imperfection. The harsh voice of judgment drops to a whisper. And I remember again that life isn't a relay race, that we will all cross the finish line. That waking up to life is what we were born for. As many times as I forget, catch myself charging forward without even knowing where I'm going. That many times I make the choice to stop, to breathe, to be, and to walk slowly into the mystery. We've been seated for about 6 minutes. If you would like to shift your body, you might do that. You might also recommit to the sensation of letting the bones go into gravity, finding softness around the head, neck, and shoulders, and recommit to stillness. As we hold the physical body this way, and we begin to notice the imperfections of aches and pains and slight discomfort, waking up to the voice of judgment and letting it drop away is the opportunity that the stillness brings. So as we take the next 5 minutes, stay with the presence of what's happening in your physical body. It can be useful to find anchors in the hands and the feet and the seat. Take your attention to the hands. Feel their weight and their temperature. Notice the fabric or the skin that they're resting against. Feel them from the inside. Hands. And then take your awareness to the feet. Can you feel them? Are there any sensations as you scan between the hands and the feet? Creases of the knees, ankles, pressure or weight on the legs. Hands and feet. And then the seat, the heavy bones of the pelvis. The breath moving in and around the belly. Hands, feet, seat, and breath. We become mindful and aware of the hands, the feet, the seat, and the breath, precisely so that we begin to notice more clearly the thinking of the mind. Stay with hands, feet, seat, breath, until the moment when you feel the thinking pull you away. Notice thinking. And in that moment, you have established your freedom and your power. You are the mind watching the mind at work. Hands, feet, seat, this breath, the next breath. Somehow still the mind is thinking. Let that bubble on the back burner. And return to the sensation in the bones and the breath. Simple recognition of thinking, watching it happen. You are the mind watching the mind be mindful. It could be that you begin to notice repetition or patterns in the thinking. And this is another gift of mindfulness, the relaxation, the stillness, slowing of the breath. We take all of that and enjoy it. And also begin to learn the landscape of our own thinking. Is there a repeated idea, a repeated pattern? Writer Eudora Welty tells us the events in our lives happen in a sequence in time, but in their significance to ourselves, they find their own order. And this is the continuous thread of revelation. We've lived chronologically. We've lived in the sequence of time. But here, as we mindfully watch the mind at work, maybe thoughts present a significance or an order that is surprising. Let that thread of revelation unwind. Feet, seat, breath. Thinking continues to bubble along in the background. Walk slowly, a poem by Dana Falls. It only takes a reminder to breathe, a moment to be still. And just like that, something in me settles, softens, makes space for imperfection. The harsh voice of judgment drops to a whisper, and I remember again that life isn't a relay race, that we will all cross the finish line, that waking up to life is what we were born for. As many times as I forget, catch myself charging forward without even knowing where I'm going. That many times I can make the choice to stop, to breathe, to be, and to walk slowly into the mystery. 2 more minutes here. How much space can you make for imperfection? Walk slowly into that space. The sound of the bell is an invitation to deepen the breath. Perhaps tuck the chin and rub the palms together. And let the hands cover the eyes or cup the eye sockets and flutter the eyes open. Slowly letting in light, clearing the breath. Thank you. May all beings be well. May all beings be happy and free. And may all beings know peace. Namaste. So I'll stop the recording and we'll take a few moments to chat about anything that interested you from tonight.